Hi madam, so today me and my group mates going to present about the topic we have chosen is Musharaka. So my name is Divya Shaini and I'm currently doing Bachelor Investment Management. So looking at the first slide of the definition of Musharaka. So basically Musharaka is a joint enterprise or partnership structure in Islamic finance which partners share the profit and losses for an enterprise. And also, since Islamic law Sharia does not permit profiting from interest in lending, Musharaka allows for the financer of a project or company to achieve a return in form of a position, example for the actual profit and according to the permanent ratio. So it concludes, however, unlike the traditional creditors and the financiers also will share the losses should they occur, also a pro rata basis. So moving to the second slide, which is the concept of musharaka. So basically concept of musharaka allows for the project of businesses financial to get a return in the form of a position of actual profit. However, unlike a traditional creditors, the financier also shares in any losses that may occur. So musharaka plays a vital role in financial business where the base of Islamic principles. So for example, suppose the individual A, example is a individual A and individual B, we can compare between these both parties. For example, suppose the individual A wants to start a business but have limited funds. And then the individual B has an excess fund and wishes to be a financier in musharaka with A. So the two people would become to an agreement to the term and the beginnings of a business, which both portion of profits and the losses. This is a negate of needs of A to receive a loan from B. Additionally, musharaka is frequently used to purchase a property and real estate in profiting credit for the investment projects, so that the properties of a value via impute the sum of a partner might pay to the live in a property in a question. So when musharaka is employed to finance large purchases, the bank tend to lend by using floating rate interest loans pegged to a company's rate of return, and also that peg serves as a leading partner's profit. So moving to the third slide, which is the evidence according to the Quran. So basically, I applied two evidence of Quran, which is a primary sources. The one is but the first line refers to the but they are more than two, they share a third. The second one is may partners oppress one another except those who believe and do righteous deeds, and also very few are they. Okay, the evidence for the primary source, the evidence of musharaka can be seen in hadith, which reported by Habi Uraya R.A. that the Prophet SAW said Allah had said that I am the third of the partners as long as one of them does not betray the other. It also reported by S. Sahib Maghmuzi R.A. that he used to be a partner of Prophet before he prophethood. During the opening of Mecca, he said the Prophet SAW welcome my brother and partner. So moving to the second evidence from a secondary source, which is the secondary source evidence is usul al-fiqh. It's an Arabic word issued to a fiqh of principle Islamic jurisprudence and also traditional methodological principle used in Islamic jurisprudence. And also, in addition, traditionally, theory of Islamic jurisprudence elaborates how the Quran and Hadith should be interpreted from the standpoint of religious and also the rhetoric. It also comprises the method of establishing authenticity of hadith for determining when the legal force of a critical passage is absorbed by a passage. Moving to the next slide is the pillars of contract. So now we're going to see the pillars of musharaka are divided into 5, which is as I shown below. Okay, the first one is shuraka. So basically what is shuraka is shareholders and partners. The second one is Rasul Mal. Rasul Mal refers to the capital. And the third one is Mashru. Mashru is project and business ventures. Rib is considered as a profit and also the capital. And then Singha is also called as Ijab and Qabal. It's referring to offer and acceptance. So look at the B-side, we're going to explain now about the rules of musyarakah. Basically, there are 5 rules of musyarakah where we seen is capital, management, profit and loss, settlement and security. So these are the rules of musyarakah where it's determined the profit and loss of a shares, and also the overdue of the companies of the Quran of Hadith and the classical theory of jurisprudence, and also recognized as also under the rubric of ihtijaj. So that's all from me. Now I'm passing to my friend. Thank you.
Hi, madam. My name is Yong Pin Mei. Now it's my turn to explain the conditions of musyarakah. So the first one will be partnership agreement. There must be a clear and mutual agreement between two or more parties to form a partnership. The term and conditions of the partnership, including the sharing ratio of profits and losses, the duration of the partnerships, and the roles and responsibilities of each partner should be explicitly stated and agreed upon by all parties. Number two, shared capital. All partners must contribute capital to the venture. The capital can be in the form of cash, asset, or any other tangible value. Each partner's ownership stake in the venture is determined by their respective capital contributions. Number three, profit and loss sharing. The partners agree to share profit and losses generated from the venture according to the agreed upon sharing ratio. So these contributions of the profit does not have to be equal. It can be based on the proportions of capital contributed by each partner. Number four, shared management and control. All partners have the right to participate actively in the management and decision making of the project. The partnership should be based on cooperation and shared responsibility, and partners should have equal right in the decision making process. Number five, permissible business activities. The venture business activities must be lawful and comply with Islamic principles. Engaging in activity they are considered haram, such as dealing with alcohol, gambling, is not permissible in musyarakah. Number six, fairness and transparency. The partnership agreement should promote fairness and transparency in all dealings. The distributions of profit and losses should be conducted with honesty and integrity, ensuring that all partners' rights are protected. Number seven, limited liabilities. The liability of each partners is generally limited to the extent of their capital contribution. Partners are not personally liable for the losses beyond the amount they invested in the venture. Number eight, consent and knowledge. All partners should enter into the musyarakat contract voluntarily and with full knowledge of the terms and conditions. That there should be no conscience or deception in forming the partnership. Number nine, share effort. Partners are encouraged to contribute their skills, efforts, and expertise to the venture, ensuring activity participation from all parties. Number 10, termination clause. The partnership agreement should include provisions regarding the terminations or dissolution of the musyarakat contract. It specifies the conditions under which the partnership can be concluded and how the asset and profit will be distributed among the partners at the end of the venture. Okay, now we come to the types of musyarakat. Includes of the permanent musyarakat. In this type of musyarakat, the partnership is formed for a specific purpose and has a fixed duration. The partners agree to invest capital jointly in the project or business, share profit according to an agreed upon ratio, and bear losses in proportion to their respective investment. Once the project's term is complete or the agreed objective is achieved, the partnership is terminated and the asset contribute among the partners according to their ownership ratios. The next one, Diminishing musharakat. This type of musharakat is commonly used in Islamic banking for home financing. It involves two stages. First, the bank and the customer form a partnership to jointly purchase a property. The customer makes periodic payments to the bank, gradually buying the bank's share in the property. With each payment, the bank ownership stake decreases until the customer becomes the sole owner. Another one is restricted musharakat. In this type of musharakat, one party provides the capital while the other party contributes expertise and efforts to manage the project. The profit are shared based on the pre-agreed ratio, but the losses are borne entirely by the capital provider. The mudarib does not contribute capital but is responsible for managing the venture effectively. Next one, diminishing musharakat for working capital. This is a variation of diminishing musharakat that is used to finance working capital needs for businesses. The bank and the customer form a partnership, with the customer gradually buying the bank share in the business over time. Another one is reverse musharakat. In this type of musharakat, one party provides the capital and the other party manage the business. However, the profit sharing ratio is determined and not based on actual profit generated by the venture. Next will be deferred payment musharakat. In this type, the partners agree to share profit and losses, but one partners can defer the payment of their share of capital until a later date. This is often used in trade transaction.
Hi madam, my name is Ellen Julia. I'm from BIE, Bachelor of Accounting student. Today I'll be presenting on the modus operandi of musharaka in banking. So musharaka is frequently used in the purchase of property and real estate, in providing credit for investment projects and to finance large purchases. In real estate deals, the partner requests from a bank an assessment of a property value via imputed rent. Profits are divided between partner and in predetermined ratio based on the value was assigned and the sum of their different stakes. So in general, modus operandi of the house of financing product based on musharaka is as follow. Okay, the first step, a customer wants to buy a property or real property, applies for financing from the Islamic institution, any banks. The Islamic financial institution and the customer will jointly purchases the real property based on a determined share, for example 90 over 100, depending on the amount of financing has requested. The deposit paid by the customer is deemed as the initial share of the ownership. The Islamic financial institution share the ownership will be leased based on the ijara to the customer, and the monthly installment by the customer will be used to gradually purchase the share of the Islamic financial institution until the entire share of the Islamic financial institution is fully purchased by the customer. Okay, based on our project on the musharaka, so what we have find out that musharaka is a partnership arrangement in Islamic financing in which profit and losses are shared. Profits from the interest are not permitted in Islamic practice, necessitating the need for musharaka. A permanent musharaka is often used for long-term financing since it has no specific end date and continues until the partner decide to dissolve it. Musharaka are not binding contract. Either party can terminate that agreement unilaterally. Thank you.